I think about it like this, like parenting, entrepreneurship, being a business owner, like all of them have something in common and that they force you to level up and they force you to grow and to change your perspective to life.
We're often talking about like making sure that your body actually feels safe on camera, because as soon as you have a camera in front of you, it triggers all these like fear responses, like what's actually happening in the body in that moment.
I don't think it's necessarily like a confidence issue when people get in front of the camera and they lock up like that. It's more of a nervous system state. When they're looking at the camera, they're not necessarily seeing a camera. They're seeing an audience of people, thousands of people on the other end. Their amygdala, which is responsible for threat detection, is viewing that through that lens. How you start your day, like you win the morning, win the day kind of thing.
Yes.
So I'm a big believer you got to have your rituals, your practices in the morning. Like I always think of it through the lens of like family, self, and service. First off, start off with myself, make sure I'm good. Then I can be of better service to my family and better service to my community.
When did running a business start feeling like 2 full-time jobs?
You signed up to do what you love, but somehow you're also expected to be a full-blown content creator, editor, copywriter, and social media guru. We get it. I'm Dave.
I'm Sarah. We actually make content for a living, but even we've been guilty of totally neglecting our social media.
That's why we started this podcast, to figure it out with you.
From filming tips on any budget, to quick hacks that stop content creation from eating your life, to real talk about the overwhelm and the inner work required to show up in a confident way on camera.
We're in the trenches with you. This is Unfluencers Anonymous.
Your survival guide to creating content without losing your sanity.
Let's do this together.
We are very blessed to have a legend with us in the studio today. Well, not in the studio.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cyber studio.
Thank you.
Not
Oh,
Dave.
sorry, Chris.
Oh, David. I missed this banter.
We have
kidding.
Chris Sulfa with us, who is honestly like the epitome of all the things we stand for and all the things we preach about when it comes to creating content from a healed perspective, regulating your nervous system, showing up online, being authentic. This guy is like the spokesperson for each of those little things. So we're so excited to have you. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
Appreciate that. Oh, good to see you guys. And wow, what an intro. Wow. I appreciate that so much.
Could go on, but yeah, there's so many things that you do, which I love. And I'm sure people will be able to look at your profile and they'll see the evidence instantly that you practice what you preach, which is what we're all about. So I love that.
100%. 100%. No money has changed hands.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we have to sort of disclose our sponsorships
Yes.
and everything.
Yeah. That was like a glowing sponsorship. But yeah, definitely we didn't have to slip any money your way to say
Not this time. So, Chris, can you just give us a little bit of, from your perspective, how do these worlds combine, like collide for you? Like you've got the breathwork side, you're very spiritually, you're very holistically healed human, conscious human, and you create content, and you are a videographer, a content creator yourself. So
And a photographer, Chris, you're a photographer.
yeah, and a bit
as
of
well?
photography as well
Yeah.
from time to time when it comes up. But yeah,
Very
I think
creative.
I've always been a creative. I was a creative before I got into the healing arts or spiritual, growth. And they sort of all kind of merged along the way. Like I started off in the fitness industry. My passion was in fitness and personal development, and my passion was creativity. It was graphic design, it was video editing, it was
right.
photography, and a lot of that was like my life before I got into breath work and the healing journey. And it just naturally came along, like that progression of like all the things I was doing previously sort of merged into what I'm doing now, and it just has become my life, my work. It doesn't feel like there's any differentiation or separation. Like it's just it is me. It's me showing up in all of myself in the
It's amazing when people follow their passion where it leads, and it's almost like it's preconceived. You know, these footsteps that you take, and each thing that you've done has led to what you're doing now, and who knows what the next step may be either. But it's just so, I don't know. I mean, I know it's a buzzword, but it's organic. It just naturally flows on. Whereas, and I don't want to speak neg, but when people aren't following their passion, you find that they don't have these progressive steps.
pushing uphill all the time. What's the
Yeah.
thing?
Right, right. I
Yeah.
think that it's all like a growth journey. Like
Yeah.
I think about it like this, like parenting, entrepreneurship, being a
Yeah.
business owner. None of those, like all of them have something in common, and that they force you to level up and they force you to grow and to
Love
um,
that.
change your perspective to life. And yeah, it's one of the growth accelerators that I think of when it comes to like embodying any of these roles.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I mean, you're a dad of two as well. Like
Yes.
that's huge. And your
Oh, yeah.
kids, we'll get into the fatherhood side of things a little bit soon. But I really want to know because we're often talking about like nervous system regulation and making sure that your body actually feels safe on camera. Because as soon as you have a camera in front of you, it triggers all these like fear responses, like primal fear responses, like
Yeah.
I am in danger. And
Yeah.
so even if you know what you want to say, your body is like, no, don't say it. And then you end up coming off like you're not even being natural and you end up hating the thing that you create. And then it creates this whole loop. So what's
Sure.
like from your perspective, from all your knowledge, like what's actually happening in the body in that
Yeah.
moment when you're sort of, you're just, it seems so trivial. You're in front of the camera, but for our
Yeah.
bodies, for some of us, it's so much
Yeah.
bigger than that.
Yeah.
Like,
That is
yeah.
such a great question. And you said it yourself, that freeze response that occurs. I don't think it's necessarily like a confidence issue when people get in front of the camera and they lock up like that. It's more of a nervous system state. It's a
Mm,
response. So when they're looking at the camera, they're not necessarily seeing a camera. They're seeing an audience of people. They're seeing
Mm.
thousands of
yes.
people on the other end. And it's not a device. And so their amygdala, which is responsible for threat detection, it's like a system that scans the environment for safety.
Mhm.
It is viewing that through that lens, and it's not seeing that device. It's seeing the fear of judgment. It's seeing the fear of being seen, and
Yeah.
it's a whole process that occurs where you lock up, you enter this freeze state, and the camera comes on, and you're not ready to go. You become dysregulated from it.
Mm,
Using an example, like maybe you know, that person has a bit of a trauma response to being in front of people. Like maybe
yeah.
they got bullied and it brings them back to that experience of being bullied in front of a group of people.
Mm.
Or think about it through this lens, like, what are the top common fears that people deal with? It's jumping out of a plane.
Mm,
It's public speaking. That's like one of the
yeah.
Yeah.
biggest ones, right? And
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that prior to getting on camera, being expressing myself in this way, that one of the first forms of I guess therapy or creative healing or catharsis for me was public speaking. It was
Mm.
actually spoken word poetry.
That's
I was
right. I always
really
forget
big,
that.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I was
Yeah.
really big on hip hop and
Yes.
poetry, and I found that it really helped me to express my truth and to be vulnerable and break down those barriers that we all kind of have to a degree. And it actually really helped me to kind of step into my voice and my truth.
Yeah.
And
I
I
didn't
think
know
that's why
that.
it comes a little bit more naturally to me now because I've
Yeah.
sort of, I guess, trained my nervous system to be comfortable
100%.
being in front of people and openly expressing myself. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so
Yeah,
true.
nice.
I mean, I can practice a song at home 1,000 times. The
Mhm.
minute I stand in front of an audience, is like my throat tightens and everything's tense, and I literally cannot make the sounds in my voice the way that I can when I'm just at home playing. You know what I mean? And I've
Yeah.
got to put in that practice and I've got to get back into performing. But I love that. I totally forgot about your spoken word days because that would have been the best training ground for you to just like put in the reps and get over that fear.
100%. 100%. It's a consistent practice as well. Like I'm
Mm,
fortunate that I teach regular breathwork classes every week. I'm in front of like groups of 30 to 35 people a week, every
yep,
week,
yep.
using my voice, guiding them. It's obviously it's different to like public speaking, but
Yeah.
still using me to my voice and my tone of
Yeah.
voice and my expression to help them get into a regulated state. And there's a whole thing around that. I could go for ages, but there's this thing called vagal authority, vagal tone. The way that we express our voice can calm and soothe people. It can also stress
Mm,
people out depending on, whether or not that triggers them. But yeah, there's
Yeah.
some fascinating, insights that I've picked up through breath work that yeah, It helped me to kind of
Wow.
shape my perspective around it.
If you had to give one piece of advice for someone that's about to step out on a stage, and obviously they have all these fears of being judged or what they're going to sound like or everything else, is there obviously there's many, but is there one key thing that you could tell them to do that would take 60 seconds to bring them back to reality, to
That's an
ground them?
easy one, man. Yeah, that's an easy one. It's breath work. It's regulation. It's self-regulation. It's taking that, if you need to, a minute or 5 minutes or however long you need to just ground yourself before you actually have to express yourself. Prior to this call, I did my morning breathwork practice. That helps me to get out of my head, gives
Yeah.
me a bit more clarity, and it helps me to just be more calm and less reactive. Yeah.
And
But
it's
it is one of the common things, sorry, I might just touch on this quickly, is that CEOs and people within, teams and who have to present at boardrooms, this is a very common thing that people will practice breathwork. And a lot of CEOs are getting into it, whether it's like a simple box breathing technique, just something
Yeah.
that's going to slow the heart rate, slow the mind, and help them get into presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I did some media training, and I probably can't mention names, but I will say that it was for a company that's Australia's global carrier airline, and there's probably only one you've worked it out, but I won't say Qantas. I won't say.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
and it's funny. Sarah knows Sonia, the lady that does the media training. She had a woman working for her named Sharon, and that's what she would do. Part of the media training, especially if there was a crisis happening, and to teach them how the CEOs and the directors to speak to camera. Sharon would come in and do this breathwork facilitating. And I'm going back now, probably it's been at least 6 or 7 years maybe. But yeah, I mean, I totally get that. And they are. You're right. Corporate world is embracing this and they're realizing how important it is. And I think it ties in with what Sarah and I are trying to do, which is having people be more natural on camera, being
Yeah.
able to communicate freely their authentic self, and not have the fear or anxiety around it.
Yeah,
And it's easier
100%.
said than done, right? Just be natural on camera. Everyone's like, I'm trying to be natural. Like you don't realize that you're not present until for me personally, until I do breath work. That's the only time I'm actually present because as soon as I lose my focus on the breath, then I'm all over the place. And then I bring it back and I'm like, whoa, where have I just been? Like, where did I just go? There's so many places your mind goes so quickly that I feel like breath work. And for me, I have to admit, I'm not doing anywhere near as much as I used to. And what I need to do, I need to get back into it. So this is a good reminder for me. But it does really, it has such a huge effect, not on just the thing you're doing instantly after it, but like throughout your whole day. And especially if I think you do like multiple sessions a day, don't you, Chris?
I do. I do have a morning practice. I sometimes have a lunchtime practice and an evening practice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's so
And Chris, can I ask what's who are the people that you're teaching? What's the demographic? Are they, single people? Are they married couples? Are they
Yeah.
corporate leaders?
Yeah, it's a range. I did a bit of a gauge one time of a class that I taught because I teach in North Sydney and Surrey Hills, and the demographic around there, most of them are office workers. They are locked into screens majority of the day. There's an interesting fact about there's a term called screen apnea where we spend a lot of
Oh,
time staring at screens, whether it's our phone or whether it's our computer, and we actually forget to breathe. Sorry, getting a little bit sidetracked there, but yeah, some of the demographics I'm
no,
dealing with
please.
I
are
do that.
mostly people in these high stress environments where they're like locked in and they're also in a state of fight or flight for majority of their day. I tomorrow I have a corporate gig. I'm working with the team at Victoria Cross. They're
Oh,
in charge of
wow.
like the retail spaces in North Sydney, so I'm doing
Yeah.
a session for them as well. It ranges. Sometimes it's corporate sessions, sometimes it's just your general run of the mill, like people who work office jobs. Um, a mother's group I've got coming up this weekend as a private session.
Oh,
It
wow.
ranges. It's
I
it's it's
love
always something
that.
Good.
different.
Yeah.
So many more
Yeah.
people seeing how important it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like with you personally, Chris, what did you notice about your content creation and your showing up online, you're building your own brand, and it's great. Like, we're watching, you're so consistent, you're so busy, you are a dad as well, and you're so consistent online. So we're always like, how is he doing this? Tell us more. But what did you notice personally about your content creation when you started implementing more breath work into your daily practice?
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, like, because breathwork is my focus, like I do have to practice what I preach. And
Yeah.
you know, I've found that when I do spend that little bit of time regulating my nervous system before I get on camera, everything flows a lot better. Thoughts come more freely. I may have an idea of what I want to say, but usually that's all the prep beforehand. And that prep includes a breathwork practice and thinking about what kind of message you want to share. And I think there's this interesting, at least from my perspective, I'm sure you guys have seen it in some of the stuff that you've seen online or the people you've worked with. The landscape of social media is changing, and what people are gravitating towards is more authenticity and more vulnerability and expression, instead of being like, constantly spoken to or spoken at. And at least from my experience, from what I'm seeing online and how am wanting to show up online, I just want to make it a bit more of a genuine version of myself, and not so much like having to play a role.
Yeah, it's like an actual conversation with a
Put
real
on a
human.
persona kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I know like anyone that's watching this, if you know Chris, this is Chris. This isn't Chris in performance mode
On
or
and off
selling
camera.
mode.
Yeah.
This is Chris 24/7. Exactly. Yeah, I did want to ask about youth. So in the demographic that you shared earlier, like, do you have what's the youngest age, and do you recommend something like this be taught in schools or
Yeah.
at a younger level? And are
That
your
is
children doing it? Yeah,
Yes, that's a great question. Yes, and to answer that first, that question first, yes, my kids and I, we do it every single night, without fail. I've got a
Love.
6 p.m. alarm that goes off, and it doesn't matter if we're out at the shops or if we're about to eat dinner. That alarm goes off, and the kids will know breathing time, and we'll all do a few breaths together. Sometimes they guide it, and we always end with a humming breath, which is a technique that stimulates the vagus nerve, and it has a calming effect, soothes the nervous system, and it's great prior to like dinner, for example. But yeah, to further answer your question, this is being implemented in schools. I've worked with teachers
it
who,
is.
they're educators. They're teaching the teachers to teach this to
Yes.
toddlers, as young as toddlers. It's probably a little bit difficult, but you can be playful with it, and you can have certain like animal related breathwork techniques that sort of
Keeps them
start to plant the
interested.
seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all the way up until like preteens and teens. And I know some great facilitators out there who like are bringing it into their spaces in that way. And I think it's great because it's like you don't know what you don't know. Like, we didn't all get taught this growing up, but the younger generation does. And this is really beautiful. The other day, we're on the road trip back from Byron. My son was having a bit of a meltdown in the back, and my daughter was coaching him through some breath work. And they're only 6 and 4.
Bless.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's
That's
like we're planting
unbelievable.
seeds, and
Yeah.
to answer your question, I
No.
see it's becoming more and more common. And I mean, I'm in the bubble. Like, I feel like I hear about it all the time, but I
Yeah.
know that it's not like it's reaching a tipping point. Like, the global interest in breath work has skyrocketed over the years.
Yeah.
Like, you can actually jump on Google Trends and you can see from like 2019, like when Wim Hof sort of kicked off, there's been just like a steady incline on this graph where breathwork just keeps going and going and going and going. And the global statistics and the market trends are showing that it's going to be like peaking by next year, I think $10 billion. And by 2030, the wellness industry as a whole is set to hit $7 trillion. And breathwork is the leading modality since then. They refer to it, it's funny, there's a New York Times article where they call breathwork the new yoga in terms
Oh,
of popularity
nice.
because of how much it's blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see it on, I watch a bit of sports over the weekend, and you see all the major sports teams, especially like, the physical games like rugby league or AFL or rugby union. At every moment they get, if there's a pause in play, you get the whole team stand around in a circle, arm in arm, and they do 5 or 6 amazing deep breaths to reground them before the start of play again. And they do it. I know they do it every time, like with rugby league, every time they score. So, it's just something that's just come right into everyday mainstream life. If sports people are doing it, and I actually think that's an awesome promotion, because kids are watching this stuff going, what's this breath stuff? So on a weekend, I'm hoping children playing sport are going to do the same thing, incorporate it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know a coach who actually, I think he's a BJJ practitioner, but he teaches it to the fighters that he works with. He's a black belt, but he also does like coaching for like kids on the rugby field and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, beautiful what you just said, because it is becoming more and more mainstream. You see people like Kobe Bryant courtside. He's trying to regulate his nervous system. Novak Djokovic, he's really vocal about using breath work as a tool. A lot of mixed martial arts people. Jake Paul is a boxer.
That's the one I was thinking of. He has his own coaches, right? Doesn't he get Aubrey to even help him with that?
Yeah, Aubrey Marcus and Lucas Mack. Lucas Mack is how I first got introduced to breath work. He came to my studio and he hosted this event, and it rocked my world. And then like a few years later, he's blown up as a breathwork influencer in the United States, and he works with Jake Paul in the ring prior to like fighting Mike Tyson. So it's wild how mainstream it's becoming. But the way I like to think of it is that our nervous system, it dictates our experience, our reality. And if you can train yourself to become calm under pressure, like these pro sports athletes, you can get control over your state. You can shift your state. There's a saying, shift your state, shift your story. And it helps in those heat of the moment experiences as well.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because like some of our viewers may not, they're going, okay, so breath work, okay, I'm doing this breath work, what's the benefits? But I'm glad you said that. It resets the state, especially for people that are in a sport that's got high activity. I know, Sarah, sorry, you're involved with a local MMA trainer or gym. Do you know, do they do breath work?
Not really, but it's funny. They've just started to, sorry, I shouldn't say not really. I'm not 100% if they're doing it just before the fights or anything. But they are just about to implement some yoga. So I think they're starting to go down that more, calming side as well, because they're starting to realize we need a bit of that blend to be able to perform best in both worlds. Hey, everyone. Just a quick reminder that you actually have access to some freebies right now, and these have been created by Dave and I to help you create some amazing content right now. This is called Breaking Down the Blocks, and it's focusing on all of the main blocks, the mental load, the mental chatter, all of the things that happen up in your head when you go to hit record, all of those little stories that you tell yourself that freak you out and make you not want to post any content. We are breaking all of these blocks down so you can create with freedom.
Yeah, included in this is a heap of documents which can get you started on your content creation journey today.
So enjoy the rest of this episode. Check out the freebie when you get a chance. There will be links all over the place. Follow the link. Freebie, freebie, freebie. Love you guys. Enjoy.
It's interesting that the things that increase the nervous system make, like, especially like high-end pro sports, where your heart rate must be going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. We're now telling people, okay, bring it back down. Come bring it back down before, when you reset. Whereas I would say, when I was growing up, you were told to keep that heart rate up and keep driving. Now we're going, okay, drive, but then have a pause. Yeah. Regain your breath, get your nervous system under control, and let's go again. I love that.
100%. You see it in some of the world's top performers, that they prioritize both performance and recovery. And breathwork is great, because here's an analogy that I like to use for it, is that breathwork is like a Swiss Army knife. It's got different tools for different jobs. You're not going to use every tool in that Swiss Army knife, but there is a breathwork for performance, for enhancing your performance, for getting more out of your gym, or more out of being courtside, or
or relaxing.
Track and field. Exactly. And then there's breath work for trauma release, emotional release, catharsis, moving stress and stuck tension and trauma out of the body. Then there's breath work for deep relaxation, so more of a calming, soothing effect of the nervous system where you can help get a better, more restorative sleep. There's breath work for just day-to-day regulation throughout your day to help with focus and get more out of your creativity and more out of your work. So yeah, in a nutshell, breath work is pretty diverse in how you can approach it.
Honestly, the light globe's just gone off for me because I'm thinking it's just to recalm your nervous system, but it's not. It's for so many other things.
Right. It's a multi-purpose thing. Like we use this phrase, there's a breath for that. Like
a what?
Yeah.
Breath?
There's a breath for that. Like you can find a breathwork technique that's going to suit you for when you're needing it.
So speaking of that, for our audience who are struggling to make content and they're struggling to show up online, what are maybe like, again, we go back to that when people just say, just be yourself on camera and all this, and they're trying so hard to just be themselves, but they're noticing that their body's restricting, their throat's tightening, whatever the symptoms might be. What are maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 things, like tangible activities that they could do to calm themselves, to be able to show up and possibly be more themselves in that respect?
Yeah, I'd say some grounding to begin with, like just actually just slowing down the breath and slowing down your thoughts. And there are a variety of different techniques you can use. But it also kind of depends on what kind of state you are going into it. Like it's going to show up on camera, the state that you're in. So if you're already heightened, maybe you've had too many coffees throughout the day, you might want to slow things down a little bit, pump the brakes a little bit with a slower, more calming technique, some box breathing, some extended exhales where you lengthen the exhales. The longer the exhale, the slower your heart rate. So we're changing our heart rate variability with that technique. Another aspect of it. So I like to think of it as that it's when you're getting on camera as well. It's not just about the state of your nervous system. Some other things come up for people, like imposter syndrome might come up. This fear of being seen, and a lot of that can be overcome, at least from my perspective, by putting in consistent reps. Like the first time you hit record, it's going to be shit. You're gonna fumble. You're gonna sound like a robot and like you're reading off a script. But the more that you practice, the better you're going to get at it. And is a practice of commitment and consistently showing up. So yeah, it's twofold. It's making sure that you do all that mental and physical and internal prep, but also knowing that this is a journey. It's not a sprint. It's not a race. You got to put in the reps.
It's so true. And I actually wanted to ask, what did your content look like when you started versus now? Like,
oh my God. So I'm going back. I had a flashback moment when you asked that question. So my earliest experience with videography was I entered a film competition, like a short film competition.
Oh, wow.
And I put together storyboards and I put together this short film and I got my sister and her boyfriend in the film and everything. Yeah. And there was this, I had to do a speech, like an introduction speech, where I was just filming to camera. And I felt like I really wanted to say a message to the world in it, but I was shitting bricks. I was so fucking, my nervous system was like, what the hell is this? And I had a mate by my side trying to coach me through it, like trying to like really help me like get through that and like, give me all the pep talk. You're going to do great things, all this stuff. And at the time I just felt like I was like, when I watched the video back, I was like, fuck, that's what I sound like. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. He's like, you don't look nervous, but I felt it. But now, like, even just looking back at my current content, like it's less, like comparing to what I used to do compared to now, it's less scripted feeling.
Yeah. No staging, no anything. Yeah. It's who you are.
Exactly. And I think people will connect with you more when they feel your energy. They feel that this is who you are.
100%.
And I love that. I love the fact that you've come from a content creator, videographer, photographer, creative background, and now you're coming into this, and I think what you're saying is invaluable to people. I think with that knowledge that you have and combining all of these things into one and then sharing that with people is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Love what you do, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly.
Yeah. And it's interesting because sometimes it can get I can get in my own way sometimes, like because I know how to make content look really good with all the bells and the whistles and the captions and the
Yeah.
effects and all that stuff. But yeah, really, I think the landscape has changed, and like people just want more of that, you know, you.
Real,
Yeah.
authentic,
Real,
It's
yeah,
true.
so
like
it's
like
so
you're having a
true
chat with
though.
a friend and it's a
Yeah.
conversation and it's a two-way thing. And I find anytime I put out something like that, it literally becomes a conversation. And people
Yeah.
are chatting and messaging and DMing me. This morning I had a friend message me and she goes, "Where do I go to make really good videos?" And I was like, just film it with your phone and use Instagram and just
Yeah.
edit it within there. Like you
Yeah.
don't need to be this pro. Like it's cool to have those skills, but I don't always use those skills because really I just want to connect with my audience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And if anything, those videos are not performing as well anymore anyway. Like Dave and I, that's the process we're going through now. We're unlearning how to make polished videos. We're
Yeah.
trying to learn how to just be so much more raw, like, and we've got our phones, but we also got the Osmo 3 recently because we still want a little bit of like it's got the tracking feature and stuff like that. So you can get a little bit more creative, but again, even, we've got friends who are doing quite well on TikTok and stuff, and they've said whenever I put up the Osmo footage, it bums, like it bombs. But then whenever I do my phone footage, it goes viral. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful thing that that's what the world wants now. Like we don't want the polish, we just want the raw connection and real human moments. But it is so interesting how long it takes people like us and yourself who have been in the industry for so long to detach from that and just like accept that it's okay to just have rough as fuck videos now.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Break
Show
the
us the
mold.
behind the scenes. Show us the realness. Like
Yes.
not
Yes.
always the
Yes.
polished, the
Yeah.
super crisp HD footage. Like sometimes it's just as simple as getting on the phone and like, you know what? We had this really awesome beach breathwork session and like
Yeah. Just
people want
what's
to hit you
happening
up
in
and
the
go, oh,
moment.
cool, that's epic.
Exactly.
Like support what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So actually, yeah, good reminder. Let me get some social media
Oh yeah.
Yes.
right
Oh
now.
man, hold up.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Gone live.
And that's the thing, like the sharing, like you said, Chris, sharing the process and the
Yeah.
progress, like that's
Yeah.
so empowering for people. That's what Dave and I are trying to do. We're trying to be as open and honest and raw as we don't really have any other
Mm.
level. Like that's all we are to each other. It's
Yeah.
just we're always so open and honest. So once we've put the camera on us, we're sort of just maintaining that level of authenticity. And
Yeah, and I'm a breathwork leader in my own family, but sadly, it's not through the mouth. So,
uh,
dad joke.
Good
so
old
so
dad
Chris,
jokes.
so Chris, as a dad,
Yeah.
is that actually funny?
Yeah, I mean, I get
Thanks,
it. I
Chris.
get it.
He said yes.
You're
That's
not
it.
laughing.
No
You're
need
not
to say
laughing.
anymore. All good. We
I'm laughing on the inside.
Yeah, that's where I laugh at all Dave's jokes as well.
actually no, but hitting on dad, hitting on dad. How
Yeah.
do you juggle it all? Like, how do you?
Yeah.
What disciplines do you use to make sure that you're a father, so we know all the responsibilities and roles that come with fatherhood. You're an entrepreneur. You obviously have to live, so you've got to earn money. You're following your passion with breath work as well, and you're combining all of this. What makes sure that you get every box ticked during the day? What are your
Non-negotiables.
Yeah, non-negotiables,
yeah, thanks,
100%. How you start your day, like you win the morning, win the day kind of thing. So I'm a big
Yes.
believer you got to have your rituals, your practices in the morning,
Yes.
whether that's breath work. I don't get it 100% every single day, but having a consistent practice at least, gym, eating right, looking after your mental health. Um, that starts in the morning, and then in the evening, that whole wind down process as well. Like, what are we consuming in the evening? Is that affecting how we're going to fall asleep later at night? Like, all these factors, they all contribute, they all compound.
yeah
But yeah, I think it's this responsibility that you have as a parent, right? Like as a dad, you got to look after these little lives. They're depending on you, and you got to put on your oxygen mask. You got to fill up your cup first before you can be there for everyone else. Like I always think of it through the lens of like family, self, and service. Like if I can first off start off with myself, make sure I'm good, then I can be of better service to my family and better service to my community. And
yeah
I think that's
love
what
it.
keeps me going. That keeps me,
Love that.
they keep me motivated, but making sure that I cover all those bases. And
Yep.
I'll be the first one to say I don't get it right all the time. I have my bad days too, but at least I can come back to practices like breath work,
Yeah.
meditation, and movement to keep me, feeling good in my body and my state, feeling like I have more capacity to do these things.
I
So,
love
so
it's the
yeah.
oxygen mask. Yes.
Sorry, mate. So sorry. I just want to talk to Chris all day, Sarah.
Yeah,
Can you
I
just
know.
so,
I'll
so
just chill.
winning the morning is the key
Yeah,
to juggling it all with all the things you have to do in a day. And your day, as you've mentioned, you do breathwork classes, afternoon, evenings. I see you on weekends doing things.
yeah,
So it's not like, you seem to have a very busy life. And
yeah,
often I wonder, how does he fit it all in?
yeah,
And what you're saying is that win the morning is start off right,
yeah.
and then basically everything else looks after itself after that.
Yeah, yeah. And also living life on purpose. Like I feel like when you've got a vision of where you want to head in your life and you get pretty clear on where you want to go, you don't settle for mediocrity. Like you want
Yes.
more out of life. Like there's more to squeeze out of life. There's more to get out of life. Whether it's joy, whether it's purpose, whether it's mission, you can have all of the above. Um, like I live my life very on purpose. Like I'm looking at the wall over here. I've got my whole year mapped out. I've got a calendar on the
Mm,
wall, and there's even family occasions in there as well. Like what weekends I'm going to be off doing stuff with the kids, going on dad ventures, and then there's going to be the the sessions where I'm working and I'm building my
Yeah,
vision. Yeah.
mm.
I love that. That's
So like
awesome.
there's no blank days. Like it's
Yep.
all like I'm feeling like it's moving in a direction that feels right to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that so
I'm very
much.
big on vision boards and manifestation. Like just looking up on my wall right now, I can see it in front of me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm such a visual person. And sometimes if it's not in front of you every day, you do get sort of swept away with the tasks of the day and you forget what your main goal is and all of those sorts of things. And it can end up being 2 or 3 weeks later and you go, wait, I was meant to have done this by now. But if it's not
Mm.
visual or you've got a list or whatever it is,
Yeah.
So can I ask both of you then? Because I'm getting to that stage. I'm not at that stage with vision boards and having everything mapped out. Can it also feel, for me, sometimes it feels overwhelming to see all those dates booked out. How do you deal with that, or is that not an issue for you?
Yeah. I
To
I
both of you.
I find that yeah. Can I jump in on this one,
yeah, for sure.
Sarah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, go
So
for it.
I find that having that direction of where things are heading, like I know that I've got these sessions coming up, or I've got this workshop, or I've got this shoot coming up, it excites me. But for me, it's more about just the day to day, like making sure you get all those regular practices in, having your to-do list, note taking, the prep before actually going to a shoot or a workshop or all that kind of stuff. It's all part of the process and just taking it a day at a time. Sometimes it feels like life is full on, like
Mm.
you're the fire horse. It's go, 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 go.
Mm.
Yeah.
But it's just making sure you prioritize also that slowing down and just taking it day by day. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I 100% agree. It was only about like 4 or 5 years ago where I started looking at life as a bunch of habits. And I also just started looking at my body as a biocomputer that I could program to be whatever I wanted. And the way I program it is by putting in reps and just by continuing to code it in those reps. So if I wanted to eat healthier. So I started with just having a really good smoothie in the morning. And then I started by, not ordering in so much. And then I started cooking more. And it's just this slow habit stacking sort of thing that just continues to build. And my frustration in earlier days was that I was such an impatient person that I wanted results straight away. And if I didn't see them, then I felt like it wasn't working. And now I've completely changed. And I'm such a big fan of the long game in every aspect of my life. And I'm seeing these results for myself for my example is also music. I have always wanted to play an instrument. I've always wanted to be able to produce my own music. I always told myself that's too hard. Don't have enough time. I'm too old. It's too late. Blah, blah, blah. And then a year ago, I just decided to put in 10 minutes a day, just a little bit, like guitar, piano, and producing little. So it's not even every day I do all three. It's like might be scattered here and there. But after a year, I can do all three. That's like not,
Yeah.
I'm not a rock star or anything like that, but I'm able to start building on those habits. And then the fact that you see that progress, that's what then loops it back to want to do more of that. And then you sort of, you get this positive feedback loop. But I love what you're saying, Chris, as well. Like for me, it's having that balance, and it's just taking it one day at a time. And within each day, I want to tick the box of joy, of rest, of work, of purpose, of family. You know what I mean? So each day is its own microcosm of what used to be like a year for me. I used to sort of do a little bit here and I was all over the place. And now each day I'm like, have I, had that balance of everything? And again, not every day is going to be perfect. Like you were saying, Chris, there's always going to be, there might be work trips where your schedule's out of order and stuff like that. But I also love those moments, because when you do get thrown out of your schedule, you realize just how good those rituals are. And then when you come back to them, you're so grateful for them again, and you see that progress.
For sure.
So yeah.
There's so much to unpack in what you said as well. I just want to add another tangent to that as
Love
well.
it.
Like that consistency and the embodiment of what you do as a regular practice. Like I would never have imagined, like the 25-year-old self of me wouldn't imagine that I'd be able to be this person today, confident and in front of people and on camera.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is attributed to just the regular, the day-to-day, the showing up, the being consistent. There's that saying, 10,000 hours for mastery.
10 years, yeah.
But I heard it's not actually 10,000 hours. That's just the entry fee you pay to start to embody your craft. And it's a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
There's this author I love. He's called Stephen Pressfield, and his books I highly recommend to creatives, The War of Art, and another one called Turning Pro. And in it, he speaks to the fact that you have to embody your craft. You have to live and breathe it. Yeah. So if you're a painter, make sure you get up every day and you paint. If you're a writer, whatever kind of writing you do, whether it's poetry, whether it's short fiction or sci-fi, make sure you put in the reps. And that rule applies to everything, really. I think it applies to breathwork instructor, to videographer, creative, a public speaker. You just got to put in the reps consistently.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
And consistency is the key with everything at the moment, whether it's social media, whether it's day in the life, whether it's, like you're saying, your routines, all that sort of stuff. I suppose just something else I thought of, how do you want to be seen? What do you want to be known for? If people are looking at this, or even, let's say it's 5 years down the track or 10 years down the track, and people are looking at this content that you've created, whether it's content you've created 5 years ago or whether it's content you're going to create in 5 years' time. How do you want to be seen? What do you want people to gain from that? Or how do you want to be seen as a person?
Yeah, that's a great question. I saw this really awesome video the other day. You just kind of jogged my memory. It was a dad training in the gym, and it had a caption, "Who are you trying to impress?" And then it cuts 5 seconds in to him with his kids. And that's who his target audience is. That's who his demographic is. He
I
just
love
wants
that.
to make sure he's showing up as his best self in all areas of life. So his kids have an example of what it is to be that person who went all in, who just went all out. And that's, I guess, for me, to answer your question, it's not about everybody else. For me, it's for my little ones. I want to make sure that they see an example of somebody who gave life everything they've got.
Yeah.
Who made sure that they got
that.
to the finish line at the end and said, I did everything I said I was going to do.
Can you be my dad? Seriously. I've already got a mother.
Shut up. Pipe down, child. No, that's so true, honestly. And there's just, I think from both of our perspectives, Chris, you're just doing it so well. And I mean, if there was anything that you could say to creators, like if you wish if there was one thing that you wish they knew before they start building a brand, because this is what so many people are doing online, ourselves included. They're building this reputation for themselves. They're building an awareness in other people's minds of who they are and everything. What advice would you give to them? It could be 1 piece or 10 pieces, but like, because you have this training in, you're very spiritually grounded, you are a very healed, healthy person, you are a father, you are a business person, the breath work and everything. What are a couple of things that you wish they knew before they started?
There's a phrase that comes to mind. I heard it from a podcaster once and it changed my life.
It was us, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was David actually. It was David.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
My name is David.
It was David in a past life, but this guy called Sean Stevenson, Model Health Show, and it's all about fitness, mindset, everything, and it's all around congruency. And the phrase is always be congruent with the ideas that you hold of yourself. So
That's
you know,
heavy. I like it.
but like who you are on and off screen, just try to be that at all times.
No
Be congruent to
separation.
and stay true to what you believe.
Yeah.
The ideas that you hold of yourself, stay true to that. Like just continue to lean into that. Whether it's mental, physical, emotional, being creative, just try to be consistent with it, I think. It's
And not
amazing.
let the world sort of change you with its own
Yeah.
expectations and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's
Yeah, Sarah's actually given
Friends
me
come
a
and go, like
Yeah.
they're always evolving, but like you just being genuine and showing up and being true to what you believe in, that there's something to that. I think it cuts through all of that noise.
yeah. No, I love that. Sarah gave me a bit of a phone screensaver, and it's similar. It's just it's how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah.
So just be yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but make sure that you're happy with who you are.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been so good. Chris, I wish we had so much more time with you, but I want other people to know you more. So where do they find you? What's the best way for them to connect with you?
Yeah, so at align.breathwork, that's my breathwork page, and then at Sulfa
On Insta?
and Insta, that's where I'm most active. I don't even have a website, but yeah, just hitting me up on there. I try to stay consistent and just share where I'm at there.
And if people wanted, jump into one of in Sydney, if they want to jump into a Surrey Hills or a North Sydney session, where do they find that on that Insta? Or
Yeah,
is that
so
where you put
you'll
it?
find it through there. I teach classes out of a place called One Playground, regular weekly classes in Surrey Hills and North Sydney, but I also teach monthly workshops as well. And I've got a lot coming up throughout the year. In June, there's a Men's Mental Health Month. I'm getting a guest speaker involved.
Nice.
But yeah, just every month I'm doing something. So just following me on Insta is one way to keep in the loop and I'll always be sharing and promoting what's coming up.
Amazing.
Love that.
And I love that you don't have a website. That's so telling of this age that we live in. You don't need one necessarily. Like everyone's got different things going on, but it's just, it's one of those things that people used to think, I can't even start my business till I have a website. It's like, no. You
Totally.
just need people who need your help.
But this,
Yeah.
that's all you need. You
Yeah.
can broadcast to the world. You can reach people and they can reach you. And that's all you really need.
Yeah,
Couple
so
apps.
true.
Power is in your hands.
Yeah.
That's it, David. That's it.
That wasn't a joke. Sorry.
I thought that was some like Masters of the Universe kind of shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Do it.
Skeletor. Anyway, there you go.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on to the show. And thank you for being our first guest, bro. This is great.
Oh, this is the
Number
first
one.
guest.
First guest. It had to be you because you're so aligned with all of the things. And we always love working together and we never get to because we're also all over the place busy. But like, this has been such a pleasure. So thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yeah, that's so fitting. Align, because it align breathwork and everything. But
Right.
I love chatting with you guys. Love jamming. Love the synergy, and I hope we get to do this again sometime.
Definitely. We'll have to do a check-in. Maybe like once a year we do a new updated podcast
Yeah.
episode and see where you're
Next episode, we've all got to do a little rap each.
doing. Yeah, spoken word.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, my brother. Love to you and the family.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.